Igbo ọma na-ege ntị, anyị ekenekwa unu ọzọ n'ụbọchị uhuruchi nke taa. Anyị sị n'ụbọchị nke taa ya mara na Igbo na mma. Anyị sị ka nke e chiri ya zelu, dịka anyị si kwu unu nkwa na anyị ga-ewetara unu daily update n'iru akwụkwọ bụ gbasịta maka ihe na-eme n'obodo na nwere ọba na-azọ n'iru akwụkwọ. O nwere ya chọrọ itinyere unu mana bifo anyị etinyere unu ya bụ ife kunu ge ya bụ ife according to Channel TV. O nwere ife Maazị Nnamdi Kanu kwuburu iri afọ gara aga. O sị gọvanọ igotebe basikọ na gị gote ya dozie n'obere oge na ọ ya dị mkpa na ọ ya dị nnukwu mkpa na ị ga-eyuzubi ya. Is a prophecy Maazị Nnamdi Kanu nyere oge gara aga. Then o were ya wetara unu ụbọchị nketa unu ya ege gbasịta maka ka ya bụ ife si ada n'ebe mmanụ nke eji anya ụgbọala dị maka ọ na-achụzikwa 15. So gee ya bụ ife ịgwa ife iche n'iru akwụkwọ gbasịta maka ife ndị a niile ịnụ. All right, over to you.
For the third time since the removal of fuel subsidy in 2023, the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited (NNPCL) has yet again increased the price of premium motor spirit across its outlets in the Federal Capital Territory. This move has sparked reactions from both residents of the nation's capital and critical stakeholders in the oil sector. Experts say the hike in the price of the product is due to the implementation of the 2021 Petroleum Industry Act (PIA) that allows full deregulation of the oil sector. Well, this is an economic trying time for most residents of the nation's capital as they grapple with other challenges like high cost of living and food inflation. Now, should residents expect a reduction in the price of petrol in the coming days, or should they tilt towards the conversion of their cars to compressed natural gas amidst the high cost of conversion kits? These and more would be our focus today on Dateline Abuja. Welcome to the program. It's good to have you join us on Dateline Abuja. I'm Kumbi Aboluade. Before we go into the topic of the day, let's serve you a rundown of major activities that took place this week in the nation's capital.
The Minister of the Federal Capital Territory has expressed satisfaction with the level of work of the bus terminal projects in the metropolis. He was speaking during an inspection tour of the project in Abuja. The minister says he is hopeful that with the rate of work so far, the project will reach completion before the stipulated date signed with the contractors.
Well, we're very happy with what we've seen. Very, very happy. By the time we finish this, you don't need to be having, will not allow buses and taxis to be on the road. Everybody has to move to the various terminals.
As part of efforts to reinforce security and build community trust, the newly posted police commissioner for the Federal Capital Territory, Mr. Olatunji Disu, has vowed to strengthen the security architecture. He stated these when he visited border communities in Buhari Area Council on the outskirts of the FCT. The police commissioner is assessing the security structure and evaluates the effectiveness of ongoing security deployments in the area.
I found out that because of the topography of this area, I cannot say it belongs to Kaduna and leave it unpoliced. So we are having wonderful synergy with the commissioners of police that share border with the Federal Capital Territory.
As part of efforts to create massive employment opportunities for the Nigerian youth, the federal government has announced the launch of the Presidential Compressed Natural Gas Initiative in the transportation sector. Speaking in Abuja at the official launch of the portal, the Minister of State for Youth Development, Mr. Ayodele Olawande, says the launch of the portal is an opportunity for all youths operating within the commercial transportation sector to own tricycles and become employers of labor. The minister adds that President Bola Tinubu remains committed to providing equal access to everyone who desires to take advantage of all federal government initiatives. Vice President Kashim Shettima has reiterated the commitment of President Bola Tinubu to providing the enabling environment for judicial officers to discharge their responsibilities. He stated this while declaring open a 2-day capacity workshop organized for justices and judges, organized by the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission and the National Judicial Institute in Abuja. The Vice President underscores the need to stop what he calls frivolous appeals, technicalities, and intimidation of judges if the fight against corruption must be won in Nigeria.
We are not oblivious of some challenges that continue to impede the speedy adjudication of corruption cases. They include frivolous applications and appeals meant to delay trial, intimidation of judges by counsel, and judgment based not on the facts of cases but on technicalities. It is my expectation that this workshop will interrogate these issues, and more importantly, I believe this event presents an opportunity for the bar and the bench to improve their capacity in dealing with emerging topologies of financial crimes.
The Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Mr. Nyesom Wike, says in order to properly govern in Nigeria, leaders must take tough decisions, unpleasant to some persons. He also points out that religion and ethnicity are some of the challenges of governance in the country. However, Mr. Wike reiterated his commitment to ensuring optimal development of the nation's capital. He was speaking in his office during a custom visit by a delegation of the Asset Management Corporation of Nigeria, AMCON.
Governance, you must step on toes. It's not about friendship. You must say, when things are not right, things are not right. And so when you have come to make changes, it becomes a problem. So we can't continue that way. Somebody must have to take the bull by the horn. That's all about leadership. You may not be right all the time, but you must take a decision and be fair. And that's the only way this country can survive.
Also, the FCT minister has commended the Nigerian military for its efforts in ensuring optimum security in the nation's capital. Mr. Wike stated this during a custom visit by a high-level delegation from the Nigerian Army led by the Chief of Defense Staff, General Christopher Musa, in his office in Abuja. General Musa is visiting the minister to intimate him on the plans to host the African Military Games in Abuja next month. Vice President Kashim Shettima has called for a concerted approach to address gender-based barriers to quality education. He made the call at the two-day international conference on girl-child education in Nigeria, organized by the Nigerian Governors Forum in collaboration with the World Bank and other partners, held at the banquet hall of the Presidential Villa, Abuja. The Vice President also emphasizes the need for increased budget allocation for federal and state government.
Welcome back. Our focus today is on the NNPCL's hike in the price of PMS and the adverse effect it has on residents. Please watch this. On the third official day of the week, residents in the nation's capital woke up to yet another change in the price of premium motor spirit, also known as petrol by the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited, NNPCL. This is the third time the NNPCL will review its price since the removal of fuel subsidy by President Bola Tinubu in 2023. However, this hike in the price of PMS is not sitting right with residents of the nation's capital.
I actually got at 8,080 naira. The last time I bought here 3 days ago. I bought at 926. Right, it actually used to be 940, right? So when I bought at 926, some days ago, I was happy, like, okay, things are beginning to get, positive for the first time, So we now heard that it's been increased to now abruptly to 8,080 naira. Is an excruciating experience for every Nigerian out there. It's not. Most Nigerians can't believe it. It's looking like I used to buy. On my Corolla, I fill my tank before, same time a year ago, I used to fill it at 10,000, Out of the blues, I'm filling it today at about 60,000 naira, How much do I earn? How would I make ends meet, The government is not being fair at all to, the common man out there.
Before now, what I used to fill this small Yaris 2011 is just around 15,000 naira. When the price of fuel grew to 600 something naira, I used 30,000 to fill it. Now I'm using about 48 to 52,000 naira to fill the tank. Weekly. This is weekly. I'm not talking about monthly, weekly. Invariably, if you multiply 52,000 naira by 4, then what does that mean? What does that tell you? That is more than minimum wage of somebody else. That's the salary of somebody else, not even in public sector. The whole issue about this fuel stuff is not well planned. There are supposed to be some cushion effects at the initial before implementing them. So now that this has been done, then whatever they should do that will attract any policy that they will bring in that should be what will bring a kind of respite to the citizens should be implemented. The government knows better what to do. They should give priority to those things that they know will bring down the cost of living. Everything is high. So what do we do?
On August 1st, 2024, the NNPCL hinted that it is in a $6.8 billion debt and would not be able to continue selling at a subsidized price of 617 naira. An increment of 897 took effect shortly after this disclosure by the NNPCL on September 3rd, 2024. Barely a month after, the product is being sold for 1,030 naira per litre. This action by the NNPCL has birthed reaction from experts in the petroleum industry as they weigh in on the matter.
As I speak to you, I don't know what Dangote's price is all about. And that is speaking a lot. Because at this point in Dangote's campaign into Nigeria, retail outlet owners like us should be able to know this is how much Dangote is willing to sell to us. And we have kept that shrouded in secrecy up until now. NNPC came out and gave us a price template. That also did not tell us what is the exact price input from Dangote. So we will encourage Dangote to open up space of communication, talk with all the stakeholders, get valuable inputs from everybody, because it's a business that involves Nigerians, retail outlet owners like us, marketers, and different consumers. I'm unable to confirm to you if Dangote increase their prices or reduce their prices because we are not aware. I can tell you about their price for diesel because the diesel prices were made known to us. Most of us patronize the diesel prices, the diesel purchases. So we know when they increase, we knew when they reduce. But in the case of the PMS, I don't have any information. And so I'm incompetent to make any input into that.
I'll tell you what is going on. Until NNPC writes Dangote and writes Nigerians and tell Nigerians that sections 205 and 206 of the PIA has been complied with and the market has effectively been deregulated. Because as we speak, NMDPRA regulates Dangote and Dangote is subject to regulators. Today, as we speak, until there's official communication, not the closed-door meetings they had in Lagos earlier this week, to the public and to the refinery, the price of PMS is still regulated by the government. And if the price of PMS is regulated by the government, a commercial player in the midstream sector cannot come and send out a price template because it's regulated. Diesel is not regulated by the government. Diesel was deregulated by the government more than 10 years ago. Jet A1 was deregulated by the government more than 10 years ago. So of course the refinery can produce price on that. But for PMS, the market is still regulated because there's not been any official communication.
The Independent Marketers Association of Nigeria also lends its voice, stating that the recent hike in fuel prices is due to the deregulation of the oil sector. The association also raises concern over outstanding debt owed to marketers by the NNPCL.
Well, in fact, the issue is that NNPC presently, up till now, they give us this price at the rate of 1,010 in Lagos, 1,050 naira in Calabar, 1,045 naira in Port Harcourt, 1,040 naira in Warri. Therefore, if we are going to carry it in various places, it depends on the distance because we have to pay transportation money, which may be, let's say, from Lagos to Abuja. By the time when you add 17 naira for transportation, then you add the margin of the profit and other expenses, let's say 30 naira. So by the time when you add 17 naira and 30 naira, you have 100 naira. So by the time when you add 10 naira, that is 1,010 naira plus 100 naira, So the product will be somewhere like 1,110 naira. But our appeal is, presently, we have an outstanding debt with the NNPC. And we come to realize that the sector is fully deregularized. This NNPC, they are getting this product through Dangote at the rate of 898 naira per liter. And the same NNPC tell us to come and buy this product at the rate of 110 naira in Lagos. So if you look at that margin, we have almost 198. By the time when you subtract 1,898 naira by 1,000, you have a difference of 102 naira. Then plus the additional money for 1,010 naira, you have 1,012 naira, which will be just like a profit for the NNPC. So if this sector is fully deregularized, what we are claiming, NNPCs should either load us the way we have paid before, or they should allow us to go to Dangote, source the product direct through him.
As a new pump price has been set in NNPC stations across the country, FCT residents are appealing to the federal government to take a deeper look into the situation to cushion these sufferings. Is there a possibility of a decline in the price of petrol? What should FCT residents expect in the coming days? Well, my guest today, the Secretary of the Independent Petroleum Marketers Association of Nigeria, James Thor, answers these questions and more in this next interview. Mr. James Thor, Secretary of Ipman, thank you so much for coming on Dateline.
Thank you, Mr. Kumbi.
You're welcome.
How are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
Thank you.
So residents of the nation's capital woke up to a new pump price of petrol across the metropolis. Is that something your association saw coming?
Well, not really, but really, it came because, since the coming of the PIA, and now it's like we are inside, there's no regulation of price. So price is supposed to be determined each and every time, every day. So we saw it, we are not surprised, but we are trying to cope with it.
The president of your association came on one of our programs and he emphasized the regulation of the oil sector. But of course, deregulation is supposed to improve the economy of the country, right? Because these marketers now set and determine their prices. But for some residents, it has a ripple effect because there's high cost of living, food inflation and the rest of it. Don't you think the burden is already too much for Nigerians? Well,
the burden is there because the regulation has not been fully implemented. Why do I say that? It has to do with distribution, getting the product, distributing the product, and selling the product. That is where competition will come in. If all the apparatus, the stakeholders, come together and share it the way it's supposed to be, definitely the masses will benefit. But presently, the hardship is there because the deregulations is not properly being handled.
How much do you get this product from NNPCL?
Presently, we're looking at that in Lagos, we're going to get it at 998 naira per liter. Then in Warri, Port Harcourt, and Calabar, it will be 5 naira less the price NNPC is selling in those places, since we are getting from them.
If the oil sector is fully deregulated, what price are we looking at? Is there going to be a decline in the price of purchasing the product?
I can say yes, because there will be numerous places of getting the product. So when people are many selling the product, definitely they will come down with the price. And we that are getting it, we go for the person that is selling less. So there must be a decline. But presently, where NNPC is the monopoly of handling everything, that is where the problem is. If they allow us to get it directly from Dangote refinery, which after my president's speech, we had a meeting and it was agreed that they will now allow independent petrol marketers to get their product directly from Dangote refinery. And not even on stopping on that, they have now agreed that they will give us license to import. So by the so doing, we believe and are very, very confident because we have partners in the country and outside the country that we can partner with them and have the product at affordable prices because Nigerians are our people.
What's your take on CNG conversion? Because some people are saying that the conversion kits are a bit expensive.
Well, Ipman, as a body, we don't have much to say about that because we are supposed to be key stakeholders because nobody will take it away from us. We are the people that are on ground in Nigeria. We have filling stations everywhere, and that is where to install those keys. And we are not involved.
Ipman is not involved.
They're not officially involved.
The federal government's initiative, the CNG initiative.
The person handling is, I'm telling you, has not involved us. If they have involved us, I will tell you as the secretary. I would have said, yes, this is the procedure we are going. So me as a secretary of Ipman, I'm saying that the federal government or whoever they have given that to handle it, they should involve Ipman. If they involve Ipman, it's a good program. Very, very good one. Because we have stations. If you go to each and every station, you will see the loop bay. The loop bay is a place that we can hang on these things. But no, you are calling people that are not on ground to start this thing. Where are they going to put it?
So are you saying now that if at all you get involved in the CNG conversion, that the price of the conversion will reduce?
Of course, yes. It will.
Drastically?
Drastically, because part of what one has to go and source money to do, we have it already. We have filling stations. We have apparatus in our filling stations. It's just minor these kits that are coming. So if we give it to us, an agreeable arrangement, everything will go well. And the masses will benefit.
So what's the way forward now for Ipman? Because Nigerians are really burdened. You know, there's this saying that people, I'm sure you know that if you can survive in Nigeria, you can survive anywhere in the world. So what's the way forward now?
We are going to open our portal, Ipman portal, designate our members. They will be paying directly to Dangote, picking their product. We are not going to owe Dangote. This money, about over 15 billion with NNPC retail. If we push that product to money to Dangote, by tomorrow we wet the country with
and
products.
The prices will just
go
to like 617.
Yeah?
To like 617 naira. The prices reduced to like 617 naira.
The pricing is determined by the availability, which you will say is not the issue of
because you said the country will be wet. So
yes.
If the country is wet, of course the product is already on ground. So will the prices come down?
That is what you are saying.
To 617?
Which is correct.
Will it come down to 617?
Definitely it will come down. But I cannot give you the margin because I don't know what Dangote is going to release to us yet. We'll sit with him. If he is releasing to us, let's take it that he's giving us, let's say, 10,000 metric tons per day or 20 per day, and he will designate some loading gallons for us, for our trucks to be loading. It will be easy of doing business. And our members can move these products throughout the country because we are everywhere. Every nook and cranny of the country, you find our members there. So with that, the price will come down. And again, with what is happening, our national president has graciously set up a task force for monitoring or diversion of the product, of adulteration of the product, other sharp practices in the industry. Because those practices are being done by people who are not even members of Ipman. We know, but we can't talk. But assuring you that the president has just done that, by next week we are going to inaugurate the committee. So when we start work, that issue of people who are not our members, but they are taking products, bringing sharp practices, those committees, task force people will check all those things. And I'm sure with all these things, prices will come down. We are well on it. Just cooperation from the government we are expecting.
On a final note, what would you be telling FCT residents and Nigerians in total?
My final touch is that they should remain calm. I've just sent a thinker to our members too, that with this arrangement, the president of Ipman, Elijah Bakar, Megandi Shetima have just done yesterday. He achieved a lot. So if they allow us a little space, definitely they will see a good thing. And that will translate into the common man, because the prices will definitely go down. Okay. We have braced up for the business.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. James Tor, Secretary of Ipman. Thank you for coming on Dateline.
Thank you so much.
Well, that's where we wrap it up on Dateline Abuja this week. Please do well to let us know the happenings in your neighborhood. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Kumbi Aboluade. Bye for now.
Ndị be anyị ngwadalụ dị n'enukwu si wee gee ya bụ ife nke wetara unu n'iru akwụkwọ na Eastern News 24. Ka ife were ikwu gbasata maka ya bụ ife ndị nọ n'iru akwụkwọ. Gwa ya ife iche n'ụdị nke gị. Gwa ya alụ gị ife ichelụ gbasata maka ife nọ. Dịka o si dị, ya bụkwa Eastern News 24 ka isi wetara unu ya bụ ozi dịka isi kwuo unu nkwa. Gbaanụ chere kpum na nnukwu update na-abịa n'iru akwụkwọ. Nke ya shock the whole world. Yes, just make sure na ị na-follow Eastern News 24 n'iru akwụkwọ ebe ọ bụla isi. When I join I so that get up in for update. Dika is now